Oh, hello, everybody. Happy Monday. It's always easy, isn't it? Always easy getting out of bed when West Ham win a game. Who saw that one coming? Let's be honest. Let's be brutally honest. Who saw that one coming? But we won. 36 points to go. And at lunchtime today, I did my player ratings, but it's Hammers Headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. So we thought we'll mix up a bit, do something a bit different. So I thought we'll do our Russy Rumour Roundup as Hammers Headlines. Fusion. So anyone new to what we do, we a couple of times a week we sort of collate all the latest rumours and just present them back to you and give you our thoughts and opinions. So let's crack on like Donkey Kong and go through all of our. There's a lot to get through. And we're not going to talk about everyone. We're not going to talk about the likes of obviously Mavropanos or things like that. This is going to be just on sort of the latest information, the latest rumours that have happened in the last sort of 48 hours, that type of thing. So we'll start with Mohammed Kudus. And actually, what's quite funny is there's a real Belgian theme running through. I know Mohammed is Ghanaian, but there's a Belgian theme running through. You'll see it as literally after we speak about a few about this player, because it makes sense afterwards. So obviously, by all accounts, we submitted a bid for Mohammed, and it's about £5 million out of what their estimation is. I think we put a £41 million bid in. They want 46, and so we are not necessarily at a standstill at all. I think there's conflicting reports between ITKs in terms of the development of this. Some think we've walked away, some think we haven't. It's very much still live, so we're sort of in the midst. We're still in the mix for him, really. The Russy Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, still very, very high for Mohammed. I give I've just gone down a little bit. 6 out of 10. It was 7 out of 10. I've just taken it down a little bit, but I still think there's value in this one in terms of the player coming to West Ham. We desperately need him, I think, particularly with the way we set up him. That explosive pace on the counter-attack would be phenomenal for West Ham. Let's talk about alternatives. So apparently we've put a number of alternatives in place in case of the Mohammed deal not coming through. He's by all accounts our top target for this position, but there's several others, including this bloke. Apparently we want Genks, and he actually played twice against us actually in the Europa Conference League. Well, I don't really necessarily remember him playing against us, but there you go. Apparently we want Genks magician, magical assistant king, Mike Tresor. He sounds American. Hi, I'm Mike Tresor, but he's not. He's from Genk. A top club insider told us that this is one of Tim's plan B signings, one up his sleeve in case the Kudus deal does not come through. Apparently, according also to Belgian journalist Sacha Tovieli, he claims West Ham are the Premier League club that are interested in the Belgium international attacker Mike Tresor. He is also attracting attention from Roma and RB Leipzig. He was the Belgian Pro League Player of the Year last year. He's 24, can play the wing, attacking midfielder, or as a second striker. So lots of he's a very sort of diverse player, so Moisey likes that, can play multiple positions. We know he likes that. Last year, he had a phenomenal season in terms of stats for Genk. He scored 8 goals and 24 assists in 38 games. So that's 32 goal contributions in 38 games. And also he won his first caps for Belgium. 24 assists. That is mental. But the thing is, to be able to assist, you need someone to score. So we need a striker. It's all right putting him on the plate. We need someone to put that plate in the goal. But Mike Tresor, in terms of the Russy Rumour rating, I don't really remember much about him when we played him, to be honest. I'm going to give this one a 6 out of 10 because it seems as an alternative to Mohammed. So who knows? We don't know, but that's what's been reported. Another Belgian we've been linked with is Jeremy Doku, the Rennes player, and I remember him playing against us in the pre-season. Tore us a new one, I believe. And apparently last night, Sunday evening, we put an official bid in for him, who's apparently been labelled the world's most highly rated young attacker. And it's apparently good news despite the big being rejected. Apparently, we firmed up our reported interest in Doku last night. And according to Foot Mercato, West Ham made an official offer for Doku, which was rejected by Rennes. But it was made clear that this is merely West Ham's opening offer, and is reported that's not only do negotiations continue with the league, our club, from West Ham's purchase of Nuamah, but they will sell for £46 million. Apparently, the Hammers, it was quoted as saying, are still negotiating with Rennes in the sense the first offer has been made by the London management. An offer was refused by Rennes, who will not sell off the player below the price offered in terms of to them, which is £46. £46 bargain. I'll have him now. I'll have him right here. 46 million, 55 million euros to release their player, and will therefore wait for West Ham to line up a suitable sum. Negotiations continue. So the Hammers therefore want to step up a gear as negotiations with Mohammed Kudus continue, and the club are still looking for a pivot striker. So, realistically, there's still money in the bank for Kudus and Doku. That would be mental. Obviously, we know City are heavily linked with him as well as in terms of Jeremy for as a replacement for Mahrez. But you're not being funny. You come West Ham, you're going to get first team football. And also, what people don't realise and people keep forgetting, it's a Euro season. We're playing the Euros at the end of the season. And so a lot of these players need to move to make sure, actually, he doesn't need to move, to be fair, but a lot of players need to need first team football. If they're going to move, they need to be guaranteed first team football. And Jeremy would be at West Ham, without a doubt, not necessarily at Man United, Man City at all. Rusty B gives Jeremy Doku a 5 out of 10, 50-50, mate, but very exciting player. He was, I've always liked him. I think he's a really, really good player. He could really do well at West Ham. He's built for the Premier League, let's be honest. He really is. Have we got any more? Yes, we do have some more. We have Romelu Lukaku links this today. According to where is it? According to Caught Offside, there we go. It claims that West Ham have made a shocking inquiry to sign the 30-year-old hitman, Chelsea hitman, this summer. He's found himself in somewhat of a dilemma after Juventus pulled out of the deal to sign him. Pochettino's happy to let him leave. He doesn't see him in his plans at all. Well, to be honest, he could have done a job yesterday. I mean, he always fucking scores against us, to be honest, doesn't he? The 30-year-old he's got an unbelievable record against West Ham. He scored more goals against us than any other club in his career to date. He scored 11 goals in 17 games and 4 assists against us during those outings. I mean, he's a powerhouse striker. You know what he is. They don't come much stronger than Romelu. And despite criticism that he's had over the recent years, I don't think it'd be a bad sign. Again, it comes down to money, and I know exactly what the comments are. Where's the Red Bull model? And I think we need someone. We do need a proven goal scorer. Romelu does have it. If you've got someone like Kudus, if you had someone like Mike Tresor, throwing these assists in, putting these balls on the plate, he'd put me in the old onion bag. He's a battering ram, and Moisey loves a battering ram. So, although it seems a bit left field, I'm open to anyone. In all honesty, now after the whole Craig Dawson sort of scenario, anyone that comes in, I see with a clean slate. But and he did score quite a lot in Serie A. And it really surprised me how Chelsea haven't sort of thought, while we're waiting for to spend some money on Vlahovic or something like that. He would do a good job. He really would do a good job. But he's made his bed. Doesn't want to play for Chelsea anymore now, apparently. So there we go. But I'm only going to give this 1 out of 10, despite the fact I think he's actually, in theory, on paper, not a bad signing. 1 out of 10 for me. It's not going to happen. Let's talk about Divock Origi instead, though. A name who's been literally, the last probably 3 transfer windows, maybe 4 transfer windows, someone who's always on the peripherals. According to Mercato Web, he's interested in a return to England, and he's turned down a move to Saudi Arabia in order to facilitate a move back to the Premier League. It reported a couple of days ago that the Belgian international is not in Stefano Piroli's AC Milan's plans this season, and they're keen to offload the 28-year-old. We apparently remain interested in him. He's one of Moyes' hard on players. He has certain players he has a hard on for. It's like Yusuf El-Nesri, and for example, someone like Divock Origi as well, and also Jay Lings, we'll talk about later. Apparently he's turned down a lucrative offer from Saudi Arabia to make it clear that he wants his eyes set on the return to England, and West Ham could offer him a tempting one. Obviously, not only Premier League football, but European football as well. As I said, the club are keen to offload him about 8-9 million quid, apparently. And if that's the case, snap your hands off, son. Honestly, I would do. Again, same thing. If you put these, getting some assist kings in, and putting him on a plate, you want a striker who knows where the back of the net is, and arguably Divock knows where it is. He's always been a squad player, really, but I think an arm around him. He's 28. I mean, he's still got a good couple of years ahead of him. Time's still on his side. I mean, Lukaku's 30, and he's won at the highest level. He's won with Liverpool. He's won Champions Leagues and stuff like that. It could be a good signing. It's not the most exciting signing, granted. He's not like some young, I don't know, Brazilian striker who's going to smash it. And he's like 17 and he's going to be absolutely phenomenal. But for now, I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad. In the same way that, look at JWP. What a debut he had yesterday. What a debut. And, 2 assists. He's already paying off some £30 million already we've gotten him. And if he carries on that trajectory, that's exactly what you want, And the thing is, we are in a situation now where for Moyes, it's all about the results this season. It's not the performances. First half was crap. Second half was better. But then I remember, even in the lockdown era, walking out of games thinking, how did we win that game? The other team were like so far ahead of us in terms of possession and in terms of chances, but we ended up getting the W. And so American, getting the W. Mike Tresor will get the W. So I think that's the issue. And so there's definitely some younger players we're linked with, but definitely some players who would fit in now. And I think that's not a bad mix, to be honest. In terms of the RUSSY Rumour rating, the regional rumour rating for Divock, I'm going to say 5 out of 10 because I still think there's other options out there, but I wouldn't be too sad if Divock did come in because he does have talent, and 8 million quid. Even if it's 10 million quid, that's pump money, isn't it? Absolute pump money. Who's next? Let's have a look. In the same article they spoke about from Tutu Mercato Web, they spoke about Divock Origi. They also spoke about West Ham potentially looking at the Fiorentina striker, Luka Jovic. Now, again, I like Luka Jovic. He's one of those guys, right? When we signed Sebastian Haller, and actually, we've been linked with all 3 of those Eintracht Frankfurt forwards now. We've signed Haller. We were heavily linked with Kosic last year, weren't we? And then he went to Juventus, and now Luka Jovic. So we just didn't get them at the right time. If we had them all at the same time, I think we'd had a hell of a forward 3, that's for sure. But apparently, according to that Tutu Mercato Web, it's Calcio Mercato, my bad. Sort of same, it comes from the same source, really. We want to sign him in the summer transfer window. The report says, according to what was reported by the English press, West Ham have lost Scamacca in the direction of Atalanta. We continue to study the Italian market in search of reinforcements for its attack, and it's aiming its sights at 2 redundancies. I love the way Italian has been translated into English. Redundancies from 2 Italian teams, according to the article. These are Divock Origi of AC Milan and Luka Jovic of Fiorentina. Fiorentina, I always called the sort of the graveyard of West Ham links. They had Milenkovic, the centre back. They had Luka Jovic, and they had Arthur Cabral as well, didn't they? As well as obviously Amrabat, who we were heavily linked with, although he'll probably go against Man United. Jovic, again, could do it. He could do a job, if the price is right. If it's not stupid money, the price is right, then I could see that one, potentially coming off. I'm going to give it 3 out of 10 though, because I just think there's so many people we're linked to, and we'll go through the list at the end because it's ridiculous at the moment. But I think there's other alternatives. But again, I wouldn't be too disappointed if Luka Jovic turns up in a West Ham shirt. In all honesty. In terms of next, let's talk about This one has got Tim Steidten written all over it. Written all over it. And that's what we've expected in the last, particularly in the last month, 6 weeks. There's some really random like links. Now, obviously, they've been linked. So, but you can see that's exactly the type of thing that Tim Steidten would do in terms of the types of targets he's looking at. So apparently West Ham are battling to sign Ernest Nuamah before the transfer deadline finishes, the window. I've never heard of him. But he apparently is a young, exciting talent, and he plays the Danish side Nordsjælland. He scored 20 goals in 49 appearances for them, as well as winning a cap for Ghana. Despite his age, he's 19. A fresh update has been dropped because, according to Football Insider, West Ham have now tabled an offer for Nuamah this summer, with the teenager also being tracked by Spurs. As I said, he's a left winger who can play left or also play on the right or through the middle. Again, number of positions. Moisey likes that. He looks like an extremely exciting prospect with a big future in the game. He's, as I said, prolific goal scoring record for his current club. There's no question he's still very, very raw by all accounts in terms of learning his trade. So he wouldn't come in and be a starter for West Ham, but he's someone who may play a big part in the future. So this is exactly this is the type of signing that you'd imagine Brighton would sign, and that's where we're trying to position ourselves now. He's not going to come in and be first team football and start. He might get the odd, if we signed him, he might get the cup games or get some European games or 20 minutes there or 20 minutes there. But particularly, in terms of what's been reported, is very, very quick. So you put him on the bench and just let him just run with 20 minutes to go at tired defenders. Be amazing, he'd be really. He seems a real powerhouse, and that's the type of thing we want. Exciting. We need pace. Pace, and he would bring it in abundance. Apparently, also Burnley and Brighton are linked with him. So if Brighton linked with him, that to me is a good tick in the box. But I've never heard of him. But he looks like a big lad. And Russy likes a big boy. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10 because I think if the price is right, then he's coming. He's got look at those traps, look at his muscles, man, at the top. Woohoo! Antonio Mark II, I guarantee you. Let's talk about he should not be. He used to be he should not be named, but now we already have another he should not be named, the former captain, number 41. So he can just be called Jesse Lingard again. Now, obviously, we know he's training. We know he's training with West Ham to regain fitness. Moisey in his press conference said, look, he needs 5 to 6 weeks. He'll be here next week as well, and yada, yada, yada. But apparently internally the club have been quite impressed with his aptitude and how well he's been playing really in training. But a little sort of tease maybe by Kevin Nolan when he was speaking to 5 Live, talking about Jesse Lingard. He said he had a fantastic 6 months with us. He re-energized himself. He re-energized the club and did what he needed to do. I think because of that, the gaffer has said to him, come in and train with us. But he's not quite up to match fitness at the moment. I think we will continue to assess as we are going along. But Jesse, the first day you see him, he says it, I feel like it's my second home and I feel like I need to go again. If it works for both, I think it will happen, but that'll be up to the boss. All you have to do is sort of see how he does over the next couple of weeks. So, Nolan hasn't completely dismissed the fact that Jesse Lingard would sign a short-term loan. I think he's going to sign a short-term loan. I think he'll sign a short-term loan probably towards the end, maybe like Wednesday next week. To literally coming to the end of the transfer window just to bump up the numbers. And on the bench, I'm not being funny. Yesterday we had, we're starting to get our bench back. Obviously we had Joseph Nang not in the side. We had one goalkeeper. Tilo Kira apparently had a knock, so he wasn't on the bench. You think when you look at the bench options, Jesse would be an option, and particularly maybe I'm thinking the European games as well. He could play that Lanzini role. Lanzini played every game of that group stage of the Europa Conference League. Jesse could do the same for the Europa League and sort of take that burden off the side. Maybe, I don't know. Russy B with the original Russy Rumour rating, I give this one 8 out of 10. I think this one is so nailed on. And that's it, my friends. So a little whistle-stop tour. And I know what you're asking. What's it done to the list? So for anyone who doesn't know what I do, I've kept updated all the players we've been linked with since the beginning of the transfer window. And last year we finished about 130 players. This year we surpassed that already with a week and a half to go. 157 players we've been linked with. I'm going to have to go with a smaller font now. 157 players we've been linked with. Obviously not 157 players we've put bids in for, but 157 players we've been linked with, and we've signed 3 and maybe 4 very, very shortly. Anyway, if you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. Don't forget also to go over and check out the Knees and Mother Brown Boys. Great forum. See what West Village Hammer's talking about in terms of who's coming in. He's usually quite reliable as well. And until next time, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. Enjoy the fact that we beat Chelsea. Enjoy the fact there's only 36 points to go before we're safe. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.